gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth, but we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Hello YouTube, this is Lumen here, and welcome to my Let's Play of Darkest Dungeon. I got this game when it came out on Steam on the 3rd of February, but I've been paying attention to this game for much longer than that, about 5 or so months after it came out on Kickstarter. I can safely say that it's definitely living up to expectations. This is a really good game. It's a RPG roguelike dungeon crawler that is, I'd like to say it has similarities to the Call of Cthulhu tabletop game. Actually, yeah, that is a rather apt description. Either way, let's just get started. Let's open the letter that our predecessor gave us, or sent us rather. And let's jump into the game.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
So, we're taking the road straight to hell. Or the equivalent of, rather. That's a pleasant way to open a game. And welcome to the tutorial level, which will explain the basic game mechanics to us. This is map navigation. If you look in the lower right corner, you'll see a map screen. You can see two... we're in a room right now, and one of the rooms... in one of the other room... Sorry, I suck at explaining things sometimes. I hate that about myself. You can see one of the other rooms is flashing. That means or pulsing rather. That means we can head to that if we click on it. But we'll have to go through the hallway first. Before we do that, though, I'm gonna introduce you to the starting characters. We've got Renauld the Crusader and Dismas the Highwayman. Why there's a Highwayman and a Crusader together, I will never know. Either way, the Crusader has 4 skills. So does the Highwayman. The Crusader is in the front line as a bit of a tank, and the Highwayman will probably deal more damage than the Crusader can. But for now, let's just move into the hallway.
Run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
Okay, like that screen was just explaining, we have movement. Pressing A or D, respectively, will move us backwards and forwards. I do not suggest moving backwards very long because that raises the stress of your heroes. I'll explain what stress is in a little bit. You can also use the mouse to move, and it's arguably a little bit more controlling, a little bit more precise. Let's continue.
Dispatch this thug,
And we've got our first battle.
that all may hear of your arrival.
I need to stop talking over the narration. Okay, combat is turn-based. We've only got the one enemy right now, it's a rather easy fight, but I'm going to take the time to explain something important. Formation position. Every skill in the game that's usable by yourself and your enemies has a position requirement. This is represented by yellow dots and red dots. Yellow dots being our team and the red dots being the enemy's team. Each dot is representing a position in the formation. Ronald is in the frontmost position, Dismas is in the center right position, and then there's a center left position, and then there's a back position. As you can see, we cannot use open vein if we're in the back position, as symbolized by the grayed out dot. And we cannot target enemies that are in the 2 back positions. We cannot use pistol shot on an enemy that's in the front position either. I'm gonna start off with open vein. Dealing good damage. The Crusader has some admittedly decent skills, including Bulwark of Faith, which is a self-buff. I'll explain what that does in the next battle. For now, I'll just attack again. Round 2.
Press this advantage.
There we go.
Give them no quarter.
And only 25 gold, really? Okay. On to the next room. But first, a tent. At the tent, or any object that's in the background that we can activate, that we can interact with, just stand in front of it and either click on it or press W. We can do other stuff with the tent, aside from just clicking check it or ignore it. We cannot do anything with it now. I'll explain what that is when we get into another dungeon. Check the tents for now. They've left valuables.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
All interact.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
And this is the quote-unquote boss battle of the tutorial. I'm gonna use Bulwark of Faith because the 2 enemies in front of us are Brigand Bloodletter and Brigand Fusilier. Both are actually fairly dangerous enemies. However, the Brigand Bloodletter is actually taking up 2 spots, the 2 front positions rather. And the Fusilier is in one of the back positions. we can use pistol shot on the Fusilier. There we go. And the Fusilier has the ability to attack the entire party, so that's why I wanted to take him out first. Attack again.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
And I'm going to take a chance to explain the two bars underneath the heroes now, because one of them just got affected. The two bars beneath the hero are health and stress. Stress is a certain status in Darkest Dungeon. You could also trade out with insanity. The higher your stress level... I said that wrong. Let me try that again. Like I said, I suck at explaining things. You gain stress uncontrollably, almost uncontrollably, as you go through dungeons, encounter enemies, interact with objects, so on and so forth. When you reach 100 stress, the hero will either gain an affliction or a virtue. I will explain those as we encounter them. The only way to reduce stress is by gaining critical hits, killing enemies, or interacting with certain objects in very specific ways. For now, I'm going to use Stunning Blow on Brigand Bloodletter, because he has the ability to inflict a status called Bleed, and he resisted that, on our entire party. Bleed deals damage over time, a rather significant amount. Oh, crit. Damn, I missed your eyes. Of course. Rain of Whips. Ouch. Oh good, both of them resisted the bleed effect. Let's try this again. I think he might fall in the next... yeah, he's dead.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
There we go. Skeleton Key... Can we actually use that? And there we go. Can we use this on the... That I meant. Okay. Most players will look at this and think, okay, let's try and open this without even reading the text. Trust me, I actually did that. You do not want to open this chest. Why? I'll show you. We had a chance of getting a blind effect there, but we didn't. And that's your tutorial for why you should be careful about certain objects. And that's the tutorial in a nutshell. It's done. Let's complete the quest. Okay, we got 5,575 gold from that. We also got 2 busts and 2 deeds. These are heirlooms. I will explain what these are in town in the next video. And Reynald and Dismas both gained Resolve XP. Their Resolve level is basically how experienced they are in the world of Darkest Dungeon. Alright, let's return to town.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
And here we are in town. If you'll go away, please. Rather dismal looking place. Like, really dismal. There are 2 buildings unlocked to us right now. The graveyard.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
If any of our heroes died, I'll show up here, showing their class, their name, their resolve level, and how they died. And Reynald is not wanting to go out again. Stagecoach.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
This is where we recruit new heroes, obviously. Starting off on the first week, the Stagecoach will always have 1 Plague Doctor and 1 Vestal. I'm going to end the video here because I think I've gone on long enough. I do not want to get a word out, Lumen. I don't want this video to go on too long to start off with, so I'm going to end the video here. In my next video, I'm going to be explaining recruitments, different hero statistics, and we're going to be going out on our first expedition to a dungeon. So, this is Lumen, the Starting Fool, signing out. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you next time.